Hi, my name is Elizabeth McCarter. I'm teaching a second grade science lesson. This one is created by Kathleen Edlinski, so I would like to give her credit. This lesson is over insects. I'm going to only use portions of her lesson because it's 35 pages, and so we're going to skip over here. I'm on page 3 and I'm going to jump over to 6 because most of those are objectives and state standards. So we're going to jump over here. First thing I would do is have my students fill in this circle map. And we would write insects right here. I could either have my students come up and write on the whiteboard, or I could do it myself and just have them shell out me some ideas. So what do we know about insects? Insects fly. So if they fly, they must have wings. Some bite. Some sting. Insects have 6 legs. And after just getting some ideas and kind of filling in this circle, we would go on to the next slide. And this one is characteristics of an insect. So we know an insect has 6 legs. And what I would do for this one is I would have my students, I'd pick 3 students to come up to the whiteboard, and they would drag these buttons over. So this one says an animal in the adult stage has 3 parts, a head, thorax, and an abdomen. I know a wasp does, and I'm pretty sure a beetle does. An animal in the adult stage that has 3 pair of legs attached to the thorax on each side. I'm saying a wasp, and I'm saying a beetle, because a spider has 8. An animal in the adult stage that has 1 pair of antennae attached to the head. And I'm going to say wasp, just because I'm not for sure about a beetle. You can click down here and clarify your answers, but I would wait and go on to the next slides because the next slides have pictures that have been enlarged. So this one, you could say, this is a beetle, and it's got a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. And I see a leg down here, a leg down here, and a leg down here. And I do see the antenna. So a beetle does have antennas. Spider. Spider, I only see 2 segments of the body, and a spider has 8 legs. So let's go on. No antenna on the spider. I do see antenna there. I see a head. I see a thorax, and I see an abdomen, and I see a leg right here, a leg right there, a leg right there, and then of course the wasp's wings. And we would go over here. This one has the answer, so obviously a spider is not an insect because it does not have a head, thorax, or abdomen. Sorry, I'm still holding my pen. And it doesn't have 3 pairs of legs, it has 4. And there are no antennae. Alright, so we go on to the next slide. The next slide is the students can create a insect. So they can drag these parts around, or they could draw. You could let them draw up here, or you could draw it yourself. You could put 1, 2, 3. We'll give it some antenna and a smiley face. Well, not really a smiley face. Alright, so erase him. Try to erase the rest. Or we can even, oops, let me grab that. Could clone it and, whoops, I got him turned. We can drag him down here to the bottom. Or, let's go ahead and delete him. Or we could use our shapes to draw. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that again. And then we're gonna do a little circle. And then we're gonna do some lines. And let's do some antenna. And whoops, my own antenna. Do some lines here. Here's his thorax. So there's his 3 legs. There's his abdomen and his head. And you can clone, whoops. Okay. He can be cloned. Or we could delete him. I hit clone again, didn't I? And you could always do the infinite cloner, but we could infinitely, whoops, well, we can infinitely clone these little bees here. That's not gonna let me do that. You could do infinite clone for this guy, but he's really big. So, and you'd have to drag over each body part. Like you would get a million legs out of here and a million abdomens. So, could do that. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. The next slide is insect, not an insect. So we would drag over these items here. And this one looks like not an insect. This one's a spider. Centipede, another spider. This looks some kind of beetle. A butterfly. And I can't make out what that picture is. But obviously spiders are not insects because they have 8 legs. So after doing this activity and doing a little bit of this, understanding what is an insect and what is not considered an insect, what are the characteristic traits of them, we would, for the classroom, we would actually be using our microscopes that we have in class. But before we do that, I would have my students do an activity here on the smartboard. Let me bring it up for you real quick because I can't reach that. So I would have them do this activity using a microscope. So this will teach them a little bit of how to use the microscope, and they can get a better understanding of how to properly use it. So what we do here is we get a slide, and then we get to pick. You can either pick red blood cells, an onion skin, or a piece of bone. So I'm going to do the onion skin, and it says we have to have a dropper, so we need a dropper right there. Alright, now we need a slide cover or a cover slip. Put that right there. Alright, so now we got our microscope, and we can see the picture is not very good, so we're going to have to adjust it a little bit. And this one is just a basic adjustment, and once you get it kind of there, then you fine tune it with your your smaller knob. And I just messed it up. Okay, so it's a little bit more defined and clear in here where you can see the cells of this onion skin. So now, and this will tell you to enlarge the microscope to go to 10 times. So we're going to magnify it to 10 times, right there. And I'm going to adjust this. Okay, I can kind of see, I can kind of make out, but we're going to fine tune it here. And this is a lot better of a picture. So once we've gotten to here, Now let's try it at a 40 magnification. So let's go back to the microscope and let's go to here. Oops. And let's see what it looks like using that. Okay. So this, you can actually see the cellular structure, the box cells that are characteristic of plant. So this is, I would just use this activity to kind of let them play and see how to use the microscope, how to adjust it, how, to play around with it, and then be able to use it for in the classroom. And then for our classroom activity, we'd be using the microscopes to look at the insects, look at their legs, look at their body and stuff like that. So thank you guys for listening to my lesson, and have a great night.